What is up, guys? Zan for Forward Progress Madden. Today we are going to talk about improving your coverage. This is mainly going to help you guys that run some sort of cover 2 blitz. This will actually help you regardless of what defense you run. So if you like to run cover 3, cover 4, hybrid coverage, this tip is actually going to help you. And this may actually make it so you don't have to man up certain players in certain plays because a lot of players don't use this feature anymore, even though it still exists in the game. So what we're going to do is take a look at a popular cover 2 beater. What I'm going to do for right now is I'm actually going to spy all these rushers just so you can actually watch the coverage and how this route concept beats the coverage shell. So a lot of players like to run verticals against cover 2. And what typically you're going to do is you're going to notice people will run this bunch verticals. They'll motion the wheel out and watch what happens. Once he clears that zone, it's just a rat catch and it's a touchdown. Now, this is assuming, no pressure gets on the quarterback, so it's very reliant on your offensive line holding up in pass protection. But the issue is that, players sometimes have to man up their players on players that they don't necessarily want to man up, and it may weaken your defense in a way. So let's say we're talking about the typical cross man that you'll see players run. They'll run something like this where they man up the outside guy and maybe the tight end. And what this does is it can help a little bit, but honestly it doesn't. If you know what you're doing, you're going to be able to hit these routes for a big gain. So maybe you man up that player, but unless you put your tight end on a slant, you've got a guy out of position. So you could run something like this. And then you go ahead and pop the little zig to the tight end and you pick up about 6-7 yards, and it just creates issues. So maybe you don't want to man that guy up. Maybe you want to man him up on somebody else, but you don't want to give up the big play. So maybe you want to man him up on the tight end. Maybe you want to go ahead and do something like this. So you can do something like this maybe. So you don't want to give away that zig to the tight end, but you don't want to manually guard the wheel either. Well, spotlighting is a way that you're going to be able to make this defense work a lot better. So against this route combination, you can go ahead and go Y to bring up your coverage audibles, and then individual, which is A, and then you hit the receiver that you want to spotlight, which is Terrence Williams, B, and then you hit the A button again to spotlight them. And what that does is it puts a spotlight on them to where that safety that is covering Jason Witten all the way down the seam will react more quickly to Williams on the wheel. So we'll go ahead and watch it right here. And actually, you can notice that the safety was already shading when we took that sack. But I'm going to go ahead and spy out these guys again here just to show you how the spotlight works. So YA, receiver icon you want to spotlight, then A. And then if they were to run this exact route combination, we'll go ahead and do that again. Notice how the safety plays more quickly towards the wheel. So I go to throw this wheel, and the safety's there, and it causes a catch tackle, and the ball gets knocked out. Now this was much more effective pre-patch last week. Now with the motion, you get these delays where the receivers freeze for about half a second before they run their route, which creates a little bit more space down the sideline. But you can still see that the spotlighting will help get that safety over to the spot more quickly. Now, be aware that if you spotlight somebody, you need to make sure that you are going to cover the vertical because that safety is absolutely going to sell out to the vertical. So you can notice right here that the ball's not out and the tight end is wide open down the seam. So you will need to make sure you're using the players that you're not spotlighting in order to make this effective. But that deep sideline area is the tender spot in a cover 2 that players like to hit. Now you can spotlight the players that you know are going to be running routes to them. Where it becomes real effective is really tough to spotlight and guess is if your opponent has some sort of scheme where on one down they're going to throw to the outside receiver, and then on the next down they somehow have a wheel or something that gets the inside receiver into that spot, and now all of a sudden you've spotlighted the wrong guy. So be aware of that when you're using this spotlight feature. But I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that this was a feature that still exists in Madden, and there are a lot of players using it. I'm not the first person to show the spotlight by any means, or to run the spotlight, but I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you check me out on twitch.tv/forwardprogressmadden, where I live stream every day. We're going to do our first partner stream on Tuesday, December the 6th. So it'll be our first stream with the sub button. Come hang out with me. We're going to be streaming around noon Central Time until probably 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So if you guys are free, feel free to stop by, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Until next time, this is Zan, get in the lab, and good luck.